In today's digital world, the term conscious leadership has lost its meaning and instead, it's become another trend. Tune in to this very special book launch episode where I address the reasons why our world needs more potent leaders. Now, in this episode, you'll learn the true meaning of potency, why adopting titles and labels may deter you from doing the real work to be who you say you're being, the real reasons why you struggle to show the world who you are, and how to stand out as a leader in today's world. Now, super exciting announcement. My new book, Potent Leadership, will officially be released tomorrow, July 13th, 2021. If you have yet to pre-order your copy or get your copy, head to potentleadership.com and grab your copy today. As a bonus for purchasing the book, you'll be gifted with 3 activation audios to support you in activating your potency and reclaiming your leadership. So grab your copy today at potentleadership.com. And when you get your copy, make sure you share a picture on social media with the hashtag Potent Leadership and be sure to tag me at I am Ruby for a chance to win some pretty amazing prizes. Now, whether you are a loyal listener or brand new to this podcast, please take a moment to download a few episodes and drop a rating and review on iTunes. Every single download, rating, and review helps get this podcast out to more leaders around the world. Now, it is time to learn why the world needs more potent leaders. Beyond the narrative, underneath the veil of illusion, and deep within your center, therein lies potent truth. Welcome to Potent Truth, where today's leaders, change makers, and light carriers come together to question the narrative, arrive at potent truth, and lead with sovereignty. What is potency? It's who you are beneath the masks, facades, and protective gear. It's the medicine humanity yearns for, cries out for, prays for, and needs. Your potency is what sets you apart, magnetizes your following, and creates movements. Join me, Ruby Fremon, for weekly guidance, channeled messages, and potent conversations that will take you on a journey of self-discovery. I am here to guide you to a place of unraveling the programming that's been keeping us stuck for generations, unlocking potent truth and expressing it through sovereign leadership. It's time for change. It's time for potent truth. Aho, leaders, and welcome to Potent Truth. Now, before I dive into this episode, I just gotta say I am super fucking excited because tomorrow, July 13th, is the official launch day for my new book, Potent Leadership. If you have yet to pre-order your copy and the book has yet to launch, go pre-order your copy today because everyone who pre-orders their copies will get access to some incredible bonuses. So go do that now. If you're listening to this past July 13th, head to potentleadership.com and get your book today. I'm so stoked. It's been quite the journey, as I've shared in other episodes, and I'm just really, really excited and super fucking nervous for you to read this book. And as always, I love to hear from you. So if you do get the book, please make sure that you reach out to me and let me know what you think. You can reach out to me on Instagram or Twitter at I am Ruby. You can also text me 1781-336-0160. And I would truly appreciate some shares of the book. So once you get your book, share it on social media with the hashtag Potent Leadership and be sure to tag me at I am Ruby for your chance to win some incredible prizes and gifts of appreciation from me. So with that being said, why potent leadership? So what's interesting is when I sat down to write this book, potency wasn't on my radar. Potency is something that came through me through some really incredible coaching by my book coach, Azul. And I realized that my entire journey, my journey of reclaiming my voice, my journey of reclaiming my truth, my journey of reclaiming my sovereignty has been one of reclaiming my potency. And so I started to write this book on potency, and I combined it with my passion for leadership. And as you know, if you've been listening to this podcast for a while or following me online for a while, you know that I am so passionate about redefining leadership, because I believe that so much of what we're seeing right now is the old paradigm of leadership. And as a paradigm that's no longer effective for where we're at as a collective. As a collective, we are seeking more truth. We are seeking more integrity. We are seeking more authenticity. We are seeking more congruence. We are seeking more embodiment. We are seeking leaders who walk the walk and not just talk the talk. So potent leadership was born. And again, I'm excited to hear from you after read the book. Now, in leadership, in the online space, I'm sure you notice the trend around the concept of conscious leadership. I remember first hearing this term, maybe it was like 3 years ago, like 2018, I started hearing that concept. And then by 2019, everyone and their mom was calling themselves a conscious leader. And just like with any online trend, the term conscious leadership has lost its meaning. People are claiming the title of conscious leader without really embodying it. Just like you can claim the title for anything simply by updating your IG bio, right? We can call ourselves anything. We can claim to be the expert on anything. We can claim to be conscious, awake, or quote unquote woke. We can claim to be 5D, 7D, ascended. We can claim to be a master, an expert, a guru. But what the fuck does that even mean? And it's shit like this that really irritates me. Because if you put yourself in the leadership space, if you want to call yourself a leader, but you're focusing most of your energy on creating fancy titles and fancy taglines without actually embodying the true meaning, the true essence of what those words are, then you're not truly leading. You're performing. And again, the term conscious leader, conscious leadership has become a title, a trend, an image with a formula that can be applied by anyone with the right marketing skills. What I see is missing in today's leaders, in today's quote unquote conscious leaders, is potency. So what is potency? Now you're going to learn about this in the book, but I want to share with you just a snapshot of what it is, what I see, how I define potency. So potency is the medicine that you have to offer when you are being the fullest expression of who you are. Potency is the medicine that you have to offer when you are being the fullest expression of who you are. It's who you are beneath the masks, beneath the performances, and the perfectly edited photos and captions. Potency is the medicine that you get to offer yourself and the world. And right now, if you're like the majority of our society, you are living with diluted potency. Now, we have, since our time of birth, we have been subjected to social expectations, cultural expectations, religious expectations, to conform, to obey, to follow the rules, to fit into a box. And with the rise of digital media, we now have the power to filter, to edit, to hide, to manipulate our truth just by the taps of our thumbs. All of which is the perfect storm to dilute your potency. This is why most of our society, most of the people in our society are living their lives with diluted potency. And I was once that. So why do we do this? Why do we dilute our potency? Why do we hide pieces of ourselves? Why do we filter who we are? Why do we edit? Why do we spend more energy trying to perfect how we look versus focusing on who we're being? Well, because it's a self-preservation technique. We do this to keep ourselves safe. At some point in your life, I can guarantee, at some point on your timeline of this lifetime, you were told that you were too much or not enough, or you were judged or abandoned or made fun of or dismissed or punished just for being you. Whether this was your parents, those who raised you, siblings, other family members, teachers, society, those in your cultural or religious society, these are things that each of us have experienced in our lives, and these are all traumas. And the masks and the filters that you are wearing are really just safety mechanisms that you put into place to keep yourself feeling safe, liked, loved, and accepted. And again, we've all done this. I've done this. So growing up, for those of you who don't know, I'm Indian Punjabi, raised Sikh. I was raised with the pressures of being an Indian woman. And as an Indian woman in our Indian culture, being from an immigrant family raised by parents who were born and raised in different countries, there was a lot of friction in terms of beliefs, in terms of the way that we wanted to live our lives. I was raised in Canada. My parents were raised in India. So there's some differences there. I was raised to be the perfect daughter-in-law, the perfect wife, the perfect Indian woman, learning how to cook, learning how to sew, learning how to do all the housewifey things, learning how to really obey authority and respect our elders, which really meant just listen to your elders and shut up. I remember being shut down or shunned or even punished anytime that I questioned my parents. And when you are shut down or shunned or punished in that way, what that tells your unconscious mind is that, oh, I get in trouble for just being me. Oh, I'm not going to be loved for being me. I'm not accepted for being me. So these are programs that we all create, that we all adopt, that we all program into ourselves at some point in our timeline. And I was also told a lot when I was younger that I'm too moody. Unfortunately, my anxiety disorder was mistaken for moodiness growing up because there just wasn't enough awareness around mental illness. And so the program that I installed from that was, okay, my emotions are too much. My emotions aren't right. My emotions aren't okay. They're not acceptable. So I started to dilute those emotions and push them, sweep them under the rug. And then the cultural expectations of being an Indian woman ran deep through so many lineages of women in our family. Everything from how you look to how you carry yourself to the clothing that you wear to the education to the line of work that you choose to marriage, having to fit these expectations, having to conform, having to forget who I am and instead become who they wanted me to be. Now, I diluted my potency so much that by the age of 30, I remember feeling like an empty shell of who I was. I didn't even know who I was. I could look in the mirror and just see emptiness, a hollowness. I was living my life to please those around me while numbing the pain of having diluted potency with drugs and alcohol. And let me tell you, living with diluted potency is like living a slow death. And maybe you've experienced this, right? You live on autopilot. You live to please those around you. You're killing your self-worth every time you live for others. You're detaching yourself from your truth because your truth doesn't feel good enough, or it doesn't feel right, or it doesn't feel accepted. You're conforming just to fit in. So if right now you're wondering why you're not attracting the right opportunities, the right relationships, the right friendships, the right experiences, the right clients, this is why. You're walking around showing up with diluted potency. You're not being who you be. You're not showing the world the fullest expression of who you be. Your potency, again, is the medicine that you have to offer the world and that you have to offer yourself, because there's so much more freedom in being your potent self than hiding and dismissing those parts of you that are you. And what's interesting about potency is potency acts as auto filtration, bringing in the most aligned people, the most aligned opportunities, the most aligned experiences, because people get to see you for who you truly are versus this empty shell of a person, versus this person wearing a fucking mask, versus this person who continues to filter and edit themselves, obsessing over how they're being perceived. Now, have you ever scrolled through your social media feed only to feel like everyone is basically saying the same shit, using the same filters, doing the same thing? Hell, even styling their shoots the same way. This is a result of living in a society that encourages us to dilute our potency just so we can fit in and be accepted. And in the industry of leadership, where this is a business, a lot of people are conforming or trying to fit this expectation, or even trying to manipulate how they're being seen just so they can fit what they see is the perception of what a leader needs to be. But what you need to understand is that you're not here to fit in, nor are you here to gain the acceptance of others. You're not. And I want to share with you a passage from my book that I think will be really potent right now. You're here to lead your purpose, and your purpose can only be led by you, which means that you must boil down that diluted medicine within you until it becomes potent. You must put an end to playing small, to hiding, to sacrificing, to conforming, to complying, to meeting the expectations of others, to cowering to the pressures of society, to be like them, to fit in, to bite your tongue, to hold back on sharing your truth. And you must practice this over and over and over again until it becomes your default behavior. You owe it to yourself to live your life as you. Your potency is the greatest medicine that you have to offer the world and yourself. It's what makes you unique and different and will help you stand out from the other leaders. It's what will attract those you're truly meant to serve, because it gives them an opportunity to really see you. And you will become your most potent self when you lead your life as the fullest expression of who you are. So that's a passage from my book. Of course, you can read the full chapter, the full book, potentleadership.com. Go to that link, pre-order or buy your copy of the book today. So when it comes to potency in leadership, why is it needed in leadership today? Why is potency needed in leadership today? Well, the way I see it is we have enough cookie cutter bullshit in our world. We have enough people mimicking other leaders, people trying to be like other leaders, people copying other leaders, people not doing the fucking work to understand what their true purpose is, what their true gifts are, what their true voice is. And instead, they are spending all of their time and energy trying to be like them, which creates a really fucking noisy environment. But guess what cuts through that noise? It's your potency. You see, the purpose that you have, the mission that you have that's so near and dear to your heart, the only person meant to lead that purpose and that mission is you. It was gifted to you for a reason, because you and only you can lead it. Your potency is a combination of your essence, your tone, your voice, your gifts, your purpose, your vision, your physical appearance, your spirituality, your energy, your presence. It's everything. It's the totality of all that makes you you. And when you learn to embrace that, not just the light, but the shadows, not just your accomplishments, but your traumas, when you learn to embrace all of that and show up as the fullest expression of who you be, that right there is the medicine that humanity needs. And that right there is the medicine that you need the most. Because that freedom that you've been chasing your entire life, that freedom can only be felt and accomplished and experienced if you give yourself the freedom to be your potent self. So that's my channeled message for you today. Make sure you head to potentleadership.com and grab your copy of the book today. And when you have your copy of the book, please take a photo, post it on social media. Be sure to use the hashtag #potentleadership and tag me at I am Ruby for a shout out. And your name will also be entered into a draw to win some pretty amazing prizes. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Potent Truth, where I am taking you on a journey to challenge the illusion and lead with sovereignty. Grab your copy of Potent Leadership at potentleadership.com. And be sure to download a few episodes of this podcast and drop a rating and review on iTunes to help me get this podcast out to more leaders around the world. And of course, connect with me, Twitter, Instagram at I am Ruby. You can also connect on Telegram, rubyfremon.com/Telegram, or text hashtag Potent Truth to 1-781-336-0160. All of that and more will be in the show notes. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for your support with the book. As I continue to say, this has been such a journey, and you have been part of that journey with me. And I am just so grateful for your presence. I cannot wait to hear from you once you get your copy of the book. As always, make sure you check back on Monday for a brand new episode of Potent Truth. And that's it. That's all. Thank you, leaders. Aho.